Hi everyone, this is Susan Oros. I'm Sammy's mom, who is a beyond verbal autistic, as I call her. I've had energetic or telepathic communication with her for probably over 10 years now. Um, and I am coming in today for a special vlog for this equinox. It is September 22nd, 2025, and we've had a series of very intense days. The solar eclipse was yesterday, and today just seems to continue on with these surprises. So it's also called a new moon, I think, when it's a solar eclipse. Um, and it's like a new beginning. So there has been resets and resets and resets, and um, it continues to dissolve our old reality one step at a time. And I like to think that this is kind of to help us make the adjustments with grace, even though it feels like it's happening so fast now and it's so intense to keep up. But this has been actually ramping up for um, probably, from my perspective, with Sammy for like 8 years. So we're at a really a crucial point now in um, the way we interact with matter and dissolve matter. So today I'm wearing red because I am intending to root. Um, Let me get this crystal for myself so I can kind of stabilize myself. And let me look at my notes here, um, so I don't go too far off track when I'm talking about myself. I can get a little bit spacey. So I'm here today. I'm really rooting to stabilize myself. And I've also got my ruby turtle here. Um, this is printed on Chromolux, uh, and the ruby turtle code, some of you may have seen on our social media. So ruby turtle codes has to do with ruby DNA. There's a lot of DNA that activation codes in there. I won't go too much into detail about that, maybe another time probably, but we are planning on making this one and a couple others available. We're just getting our feet wet, perhaps, so to speak. Uh, and we'll be offering that. So if people want to order, we're starting out with just a few, uh, just to get things going. It's probably about 3 or 4 months out still. So if you're interested in the transformational energy art, then that will become available. There's a lot more to do behind the scenes than people realize. So it's a learning curve, and I've been working on this for a couple of years, slowly, but it looks like we're got more of a plan now to do that. So look for that on our Instagram and our uh, website and our Patreon channel. Facebook also, we're on, it's called Revealing the Jewels of Autism on our Facebook page. So for people who want to send a friend request, I have my settings so that I only take friend requests from other friends, but then even that, sometimes I found that it's a scam artist. So I generally don't accept any friend requests they're if you don't have any if your profile is locked, or I can't see your profile and I don't see that there's a real person behind it. Because I know some people sign up for a Facebook account and they have very minimal information. Um, so anyway, I don't. But so if you want to follow our work, it's the best place to go then is at Revealing the Jewels of Autism page. So anyway, uh, today I want to talk about the this equinox, and to me, what I'm feeling is that it's like quantum level polarity integration. And a lot of these words that we have, I feel like eventually they're going to fade out. So even the word quantum, I'm not completely comfortable with. Uh, but anyway, so it's very quantum level now. It comes down to the physical matter, which has been happening over the last several years, like I said, and we're connecting into the like to call the omniverse, the universe from the time that it was birthed. So, we're accessing things like the primordial waters from the original point. And then the last the YouTube live I did 3 days ago, I talked about um, the mother galaxies, and those aren't even really quote galaxies. You might really consider them other universes birthing, in a sense, but that's what I was guided to call it at the time. So hard to put these words in place, and you can't completely switch over language without then having to explain each time what you mean by that. But anyway, so as all these things have opened now, and we've bridged into the quantum field, that now is really connected the macro to the micro. And you might say, well, that's always been going on. Yeah, but not to this extent, where it literally is bridged. And the sixth harmonic universe, the 16th, 17th, and 18th dimensions, which began opening really physically. Some people have been sensing that probably for a long, long time, but now really bridging it into our reality, so to speak. That bridges the macro to the micro. And some of you know, if you followed our work a lot, that Sammy has shown me this triune arc, which bridges that macro and micro, and then connects us um, into deeper into I don't know, the multiverses, the cosmos, the omniverse. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, um, so this quantum polarity integration has everything to do with that as a reference to what I'm talking about. This macro to micro deep connection is enabling an etherization of matter, which means spiritualizing matter, which means the very nature of our atoms and subatomic particles, as we call them, are being infused with spirit. And some of you might say, well, you can't not be. And again, but we go back to, well, we were more in a closed system, and now everything is basically opened up. And this has again been happening over the last 8 years in stages, and now it's completely blowing open. And this equinox is, to me, what I'm experiencing is marking that complete opening. So, the way I've been seeing it and experiencing it for myself is this, um, like seeing my organs as like black and white little microfine checkers yesterday. And I thought, well, that's polarity. So when I tuned in, is there something that I need to do to clear that? When I tuned in or uh, looked from my inner eyes, then it felt really good, uh, like that polarity, whatever was keeping that polarity as extremes in the physical matter of the body is being integrated. Because we are both light and dark in a sense, and we are masculine, feminine. We're, the mother, the father that we're expressing, and this is where then the tri-wave can really be integrated or activated. The tri-wave, the Trinity, the trinitized form, which should really be our true form, can manifest here, and that will manifest in our bodies as more ease, where it's easier to maintain a neutral witnessing state, easier to depolarize our thought patterns, without these extremes. And that's been a very challenging thing. So we've been running on a lot of polarity and dualistic programming. That's the only word that's coming right now. Meaning that even I know I've not mentioned this before, but like a superior ego and an inferior ego, worthy and not worthy, these concepts from the autist collective, they say that this doesn't exist. Those concepts really don't exist in creation, because you can't be unworthy. And these in the split of polarity, let's say in the extremes, then it's like that an in-between space between light and dark has been split, keeping that extreme polarity operating and running. So when that is dissolved through these quantum level now etherization of matter, then it's easier to be that masculine feminine. And this is what brings us back to wholeness and oneness. Even our brains, right, in the corpus callosum, that's within, mainly running from left brain linear thinking, that is from extreme polarity, so to speak. So when I tuned in, then my organs and things, it started to feel a sense of ease. So you might take a moment and into all your body systems where you can feel that tri-wave now, to help relax all your body systems. And that allows for what I'm seeing right now is the fluids to run more efficiently, our fluids of blood, there's something about plasma waveforms coming in, but our blood, I know I'm getting some other visuals, the lymphatic fluids, the it's cranial sacral system, right? The cranial, the cerebral spinal fluid. That's what I want to say. Cerebral spinal fluid, and it'll allow it to all run more efficiently. The other aspect that I was seeing was this idea of the wizard, as some of you may have seen me posting about. There's one video about the crown of the wizard, the 8998, when I watched Sammy bring in this crown of the wizard from the macrocosm and bridged it through the Mother Arc gateway of the 13th dimension. And that would be bridging right? Mother is the quantum field, dark matter, the unseen in a sense, and she bridged that together. I saw her bridging that together several years ago. So anyway, the so now this macro to micro, so now the wizard, which is to me a part of the true human template, is coming together. And what I kept seeing over the last few days is also the wisdom of witchcraft. And that word's triggering for me. I mean, I have to admit, they're like, well, people are going to think that you're playing with, dark energy or like satanic kinds of things. And so again, that satanic rituals and things, they can survive in a sense, or have survived because of that split of polarity and many other kinds of artificial systems and overlays. But here I'm talking about like witchcraft in the sense of working with the elements, working with nature, working with the spirits of nature, working with the elements, all our chemicals and things like that. Um, so the wisdom of the wizard and the wisdom of witchcraft coming together to birth the real spiritual sciences, right? I mean, this we're talking about also then alchemy, but working with nature, working with the wizard to me would be like working with the plasma technology, um, assembling atoms, working with the quanta of atoms, well, before atoms really, the blocks, or not the building blocks. I mean, that sounds too rigid too, but I mean, you understand what I'm saying. The potentials and possibilities of what the quantum field enables us to manifest in matter. That this is sort of a very important piece in science. And when we do our next podcast with Kat, who um, is much more trained and studied in this area, will talk more about this. But it's this coming together of knowing how to work with the earth elements themselves, meaning the hydrogen, the oxygen, the nitrogen, um, right? All the building blocks of matter, that's what changes it. Because right now, um, we've been in kind of working blindly in a sense of creating um, things in the material that is actually harmful, or can have byproducts that are harmful to our bodies, harmful to life on the planet, because we haven't really been working with the elements and the intention of why they were created, you know. Um, so this is the piece that is needed to really have the spiritual, physical sciences manifest. So that's an exciting kind of switch here, right? Um, and now, what does the Mother Galaxies that I talked about a few days ago have to do with all of this here? Well, again, it's about and opening up the entire system to the original creation and the intention of our universe, the entirety of the universe, which includes, the multiverses, other universes that have been functioning kind of even separately, or we've been separated from it to some degree, So when this is happening, um, because when I talked about it a few days ago, is the mother galaxies then birth other galaxies and more galaxies and more galaxies. And these are kind of like universes themselves, Um, then that means all the networks underneath, behind what we see, are all coming together, right? So there have been these invisible or closed off networks so that we haven't been accessing um, the fullness of our universe for a very, very long time. And so now when this is all opening and it's reconnecting to the earth. It's reconnecting to the earth matter. It's like these massive portals are opening, black holes and white holes um, that were disconnected are coming together in ways that we haven't experienced, and it does a number on our physical earth here, and it affects our grid system, our grid network on the earth. The earth dragons are active, you know, and they are affecting the nodal points of our grid system, which is the ley lines, um, and sort of the subtle body of the earth. So um, the grids are wobbling, you know, they're singing, they're making noises in a sense, because vibration also has a sound, frequency also has a sound. And so then our autistics, who are much more sensitive, uh, are feeling all of that and can feel these disruptions in the entirety of the field. Um, and they people may not be aware of it, but they see people's fields and how that's wobbling. Their auric fields are wobbling. Um, Soul embodiment is more possible than ever now because our matter is changing. The physical matter is changing. And it's making this soul essence much easier to actually embody. But if people don't know what's happening, then it's causing them to go into fear, disorientation, and it's kicking up all these old emotions that they may not have dealt with, and are not understanding what is happening, right? The shadow bodies, your shadows are coming to light because it has to be seen in a sense to some degree, and they think that's bad, that I'm bad again, or there's this possibly this entity attacking me, and there could be these entities trying to attack, but it could also be your own shadows that you haven't integrated in a sense. So when all this is coming up, then it causes more disruptions from what they see, and they can either see it, they can hear it, maybe all of the above. They can sense it in the emotional body in particular, and uh, can cause them to function like less in a sense, uh, like we've been having our ups and downs here, and with Samantha, and she they like to take a drive every day. That's been, our thing is to go for a drive down by the ocean and come around. And we just had to turn around, maybe go part way and come back, because it was like the further you got out, I mean, the worse she would get. And it's just uh, the self-injurious behavior is just kind of scary. So we would just come back and maybe just go, even sometimes around the block. Um, so just wanted to put that out there of what, uh, if you have an autistic, that's what you're experiencing. Also, um, they're embodying their soul, you know, which is important for them to then be more physical, a physical human here, and do the next stage of their soul mission. That's the other thing that's being activated is our soul mission. And a lot of people want to know, like, well, what's my soul purpose? Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? Well, it's imprinted into you. You know, it's imprinted at birth. It's your natal chart. Probably before birth, it was imprinted into you. Um, but the it's the natal chart and the constellations that get that through the stars what activates your DNA. Um, so this is all happening, simultaneously while we're trying to live a physical life and maintain a level of stability and not get hooked in, overly hooked in, I would say, to the outside drama that goes on. And it can be hard not to, in a sense, depending on where you live, who's around you, what kinds of things you're watching, all of those things. I know it's not easy um, to maintain a level of stability while we're going through this. So yeah, I think that seems to be the main points that are coming through right now. So yeah, I don't want to make this too long because there is a lot of energy that you might be feeling um, just from this video itself. So uh, the best way to stay neutral or try to come back into balance is to breathe deeply, work with your body systems if you can. I still like, and I'll do it off and on, depending on what's happening. Breathing with nature, breathing with plants, breathing with trees, um, grounding, and the grounding may entail more than just grounding to the earth core. Uh, Sometimes, I'll ground to water. Sometimes I'll ground to um, the crystal caves on the earth. You can ground to the mountains because our auric layers, which can be very vast, especially for the kids, the autists, uh, to ground to the mountains, these big, massive mountains, the holy mountains around the planet. So it sounds like Sammy's awake now. You can hear her. So just as a tip, stabilize your um, central vertical channel. Um, Stabilize your the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus. Intend to dissolve any barriers that are left in the diaphragm because it's like our bodies have been split, the above and the below. So the physical matter body, right, is probably a lot of you know is the first, second, and third chakras, which is first, second, and third dimensions. So um, in order to really reconnect to the heart and all aspects of our being, then you have to dissolve that layer there, and that diaphragm muscle is dense, right? So there's a density to that. So look at that, if you can. And what else? Oh yeah, soul embodiment. So I still like to do the mantra at times of I am one with my soul is one with me. I am one with my spirit is one with me. I am one with my body is one with me. And sometimes I'll even go through all the body organs and the body systems. Like I am one with my liver. My liver is one with me. I am one with my gallbladder. My gallbladder is one with me. I am one with my heart. My heart is one with me. I am one with my lungs. My lungs are one with me. I am one with my intestines. My intestines are one with me. I am one with my fascia. My fascia is one with me. I am one with my muscular system. My muscular system is one with me. I am one with my bones. My bones are one with me. So you get the idea. You can go through all these body systems to help the integration of your soul to all the physical body parts and body systems of um, yourself. So I hope that helps. Uh, Hang in there. It's I know it's not easy at times, but this is a very, very important equinox and shift. This will continue on with some process of it will continue on with the winter solstice and the spring equinox next year, and 2026. It might continue to be intense and wobbly at times. So the more you can stabilize yourself, especially the parents of autists, um, the easier time, well, I don't know how easy, but it'll still be wobbly, but the more it will help them and help you as well. And so self-care is vital for the parents. So slowing down activities, it's okay, because this in-between phase and you maintaining your stability for them to do their next part of their soul mission is going to be important. So thank you very much for listening and tuning in.